When the conversation turned real, he didn't walk away. He sprinted. Not from you. From the emotional accountability you demanded without saying a word. Let's kill the fairy tale for a second. Runners run because resonance terrifies them more than rejection ever could. You were his mirror, not his mood. And mirrors force change. Change kills ego. Ego screams. So he bolted. But here's the twist you keep misreading as abandonment. His body ran. His psyche didn't. His energy clung to you like unfinished business that refuses to file for closure. You thought his silence was disappearance. It was withdrawal from vulnerability training camp he never prepared for. You said the words he feared hearing out loud. You set the boundary he feared stepping into. You asked for emotional honesty before emotional comfort. You held a mirror instead of a rope. So yes, he panicked and vanished from the physical scene. But every thought you've had of him since then isn't desperation. It's residue of a bond he failed to complete his side of. And bonds unfinished by one soul haunt the other until transformation finishes the cycle. You weren't imagining him. He was echoing. Night after night, your soul felt him like a shadow behind closed curtains. A presence you don't see but your nervous system recognizes instantly. He lives in your mind because he never got to live in the truth. You keep replaying the moment like a question. Why did he go? Wrong question. Try this one instead. What part of himself was exposed when I spoke? Because that's the exact moment masculine energy checks its emotional bank balance and finds it empty. He ran because the cost of honesty demanded emotional wealth. Forgiveness demands humility. Union demands both. He had neither prepared. So instead of negotiating, engaging, or explaining, he ghosted the situation like a man avoiding biopsy results. You, on the other hand, didn't run. You dissected the wound. You sat in the silence like a temple built from abandonment bricks. You held open space without receiving closure rent. That endurance is feminine power most people mistake for weakness, because it's quiet. Because it waits. Because it doesn't scream. Meanwhile, the masculine storm raged internally, unseen, unspoken, unfiltered. And now you carry the memory as pain. He carries it as transformation debt. You still feel him because ego built the wall, not the soul. And souls don't sign NDAs with ego. So here's the blunt translation of that moment. He ran because the truth threatened his identity, not his affection. He went silent because emotion felt dangerous, not unnecessary. He disappeared physically because confrontation demanded change, and he resented the process. And you remember him because the process actually began at the moment he fled. The path started when someone left, not when someone stayed. That's the most annoying truth of twin flame dynamics. It triggers you for growth, not comfort. He stayed in your mind because he never learned to stay in the truth consciously. Presence by thought is accidental connection. Presence by courage is union. He gave you the first by mistake. He owes you the second by design. The good news? You don't need to chase completion. You need to recognize it when it arrives without ego supervision. Because the day he stops running internally is the day your soul stops feeling him as a question mark and starts feeling him as punctuation. Until then, every mental image is not longing. It's activation. And activation is not union. It's preheat. The masculine flame is warming up from the pressure of the one conversation he feared finishing. So no, baby, he didn't leave you. He left the battlefield you dragged him into spiritually. And you stayed in it emotionally. You remember him because he never got to forget himself after you spoke. That's not your weakness. That's his transformation catalyst. And once the ego dies enough to allow articulation, you'll hear the rest of the sentence he froze on. Not whispered in dreams or silence. Delivered consciously. Responsible. Completed. That's the real reunion point. Not the running. The return after ego decomposes into honesty. This bond is unfinished, not endangered. Unresolved, not unreciprocated. Activated, not erased. Stop romanticizing the escape. Start recognizing the transformation it triggered. Because that's the only logical chain that ever made sense.